Obviously, the relationship between Kirby Smart and Stetson Bennett is an important one, and we're coming into Stetson's sixth season of college football. He's won a national championship. He's fought to win the starting battle for the number one spot at Georgia coming into the 2022 season. And, so you would think, well, there's not as much to expect from Stetson. That's not what Kirby's saying. He says the expectation for Stetson Bennett is high for me. The big thing now is decision making. Make sure you're picking up DAWGSTRUCTION. The link is down below. I want to make sure y'all get those if you want them before I get to the fifth printing, which is coming up pretty quick. These books are getting out of my hands quicker than I expected. So make sure you're signing up for that. The link is right down below. Decision making for Stetson is an important thing. It's a indicator that he's progressing as a quarterback. I want to talk about his journey from 2020 to the end of the Alabama game in 2021. He came to Georgia after the 18 season and returned as the backup quarterback for Jake Fromm going into 19. And in that time, he'd gone to Jones County Community College and had been the starter and thrown, a fair share of interceptions. He comes in 2020, and they basically say to him, "Hey, look, you're not going to be the quarterback, okay? It's not going to happen." Yada yada. I mean, at that point, they had Dwan Mathis, J.T. Daniels, Jamie Newman. There was a lot in Stetson's way. There was a lot in a lot of people's way that time in 2020. But the quarterback that he was for that Arkansas, Auburn, Alabama stretch, Tennessee as well, Kentucky, he was making mistakes where he was forcing the football. He was trying to play hero ball, and it really hurt Georgia, particularly in the 2020 Alabama game in Tuscaloosa. You fast forward to 2021, that was the sort of stuff we just didn't see very much from Stetson on a game-to-game basis. I remember leaving the field against Auburn, where I thought there was a play in that game where Stetson could have forced the football, and he did not do it. And for me, that was massive growth. Uh, just that one play showed that what Todd Monken, etc., had been preaching to him for a while was working. Stetson was developing as a quarterback. We could I, I do not think Jake Fromm got better as he went on at Georgia. He did not. I mean, that didn't happen. Go back and look at the 2019 season. He did not play well. We can't say that about Stetson Bennett. I mean, and honestly, we can't say that about the younger guys behind Stetson right now. I mean, Carson Beck looks much better than he did a season ago. He looks more confident. He looks more functional. Look, the truth is for Carson is that he just can't go backwards the way that he did in the summer of 2021. That was what a lot of folks felt like happened for whatever reason. I'm not sure I have a lot of details on the reason why he went backwards, but he did. I mean, he legitimately went backwards. You can't say, I mean, he was the backup quarterback and then he wasn't. But it's pretty clear that he's come forward in 2022 as well. This may be and probably is the Todd Monken effect for all of these guys. I can't speak to whether Brock Vandagriff has, quote, gotten better. It appears that he has. I'll say that. And, of course, with Gunnar Stockton, we just didn't see enough of him playing. But if Kirby is saying the big thing now is decision-making, he's saying, I mean, for me, translating that is we've got a good offense. We're going to need to lean on offense more than we did a season ago. This is going to come down to Stetson doing the right thing, right coverages, right protections, and getting the ball to the right person quickly. If this is going to and if Stetson plays like he did in the first half of the Alabama national championship game, Georgia's not going to get to, well, they'll probably get to Atlanta, but they won't win that game. If he plays like he did in the second half, they will probably play for the national championship again. I mean, that's kind of hyperbolic and, hot take and all this stuff, but it does depend on what guys do, how much success you'll have. I mean, it's just all there is to it, y'all. If your quarterback isn't making the right decisions, again, back to Jake Fromm. This is not a rundown Jake Fromm. I don't, care. But there were times when there were guys that the easy open man, Jake didn't see him. Jake and every other quarterback that's played the position in the history of the world. That happens. It just seemed to happen a lot in 19. Now I'm specifically talking about 2019 with Jake. Stetson Bennett now is under the wheel of a very nice luxury car, which is the Georgia offense. Maybe it's a F-150. I mean, it doesn't have to be a car, right? But the number one thing is him taking care of what he's got. And what he's got is tremendous weaponry surrounding him. Now, you don't have George Pickens anymore. He's gone. You don't have Jermaine Burton. But you've got a lot left. You've got Ladd McConkey. You've got Marcus Roseby, Jack Saint, Arian Smith. The guy that a lot of people are hoping turns into a superstar, A.D. Mitchell. Lest we forget the complete tanks at tight end, Brock Bowers, Darnell Washington, Eric Gilbert, and the three younger guys. They have serious weapons on this team. Kenny McIntosh's arrest for reckless driving notwithstanding over the weekend, you're still going to have Kenny and Kendall Milton. I mean, people are very hopeful we'll have a big season in 2022. I know that just in going out to California and talking with Kendall and his father and watching his time out there, I'm hopeful that he has a big season so that he can move on to the NFL and really this season fulfill his destiny. We have not yet seen Kendall Milton get where he can go. But you talk about all that stuff. You have the offensive line in really good shape. There's a lot of damage that Stetson Bennett can do to defenses that he's going to deal with in the near future. And when you look at the groups that they play, Oregon might be the best defense they play going into the 2022 season. I think Alabama's defense is probably the best, but there's no Clemson hanging around as a boogeyman. There's no, Florida's got a ways to go. There's issues, and so Georgia needs to take advantage of that, and that means Stetson Bennett does too.